touch that. Let the magic happen. We are totally playing the same game, and you know it. Oh no! Don't dip! Don't dip! Keep the nose up. Oh god! Oh god! Call the ball! Call the ball! Bye-bye, airplane. Okay, we deliver parts. 1, 2, 3, 4 spare parts. How did I complete the stage ending time? Oh yeah, it just took away the cut him a little bit. I also have jumping issues, apparently. Gimme. Plasma beam! Oh my god, there's actually something that seems like it could be useful up here. It's the red thing! In you go. Oh, I'm willing to follow you if I have to. Delivered! Thanks! I hope they'll get the message. Leave me alone. Oh, that was good. Here's the recovery. Boom. You're back in the garage. There we go. That actually wasn't overwhelmingly hard. Imagine that. A small children's game is playable, and I didn't lose. Love it. Too close. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, Nico. Right over there at the end of the short dock. Boom! Contract completed. The ship is launched. Doesn't it look beautiful? Fireworks. Thank you for helping us send it afloat. Here is your reward. Just reward in the game. It will do. 64 out of 64. All vehicles found. All upgrades found. All countries. Oh my god, I didn't know. Hey!
Hold on to your butt.
Special move! Alright, for benefit. Yes! Only 36 deaths. There's a fancy invite response to this.
Carl!
Hey, Garl, our good, bestest little buddy. Welcome to Thursday and, of course, SnowRunner Wednesday. It's like Taco Tuesday on a Wednesday. You do what you got to do sometimes, and then you do it every day because you love it. Speaking of which, I got another delivery of that most amazing Canadian treat, the Watkins cheesies. I got some more cheesies today. Ordered them right before the latest rounds of absolute insane tariffs could crack down on our good friends to the north, who really shouldn't have any patience left in us, but some of them actually do. Thank you, Canada. So here we are. I'm up. I'm streaming. I'm ready to go. I'm going to drive some trucks around. Almost had a choice of a couple of other games to play today, but the big one, Splatoon Raiders, I was supposed to have my copy, an actual physical copy, delivered today, but something happened, and they'll try to get it to me by next Wednesday. So there you go. Thanks, Amazon. This one's for you. So maybe we'll play that next week, give or take. I know Nico. Well, Nico should be getting it today. I think he actually goes to like a Best Buy or something to pick his up. I am getting my Oblivion remastered by driving to Best Buy to pick it up on the 11th, I think, of August when it comes out. So we're dealing with that there. I'm moving more and more of my game purchases back over to Best Buy instead of the grand evil empire, because they can suck it in a lot of different ways. So where are we today? Today I spent a lot of time with my AI assistant. I like it and I really don't like it, but that's the mandate came down from corporate. So I spent a bunch of time today working with the tool called Get Shit Done. Yes, that does count as my 1 against my 2 for the day. So any later references to it in the stream, I'm just going to call it GSD like I do at work. It works with, technically I think it can work with almost any of the AI agents out there, but my company drops the money on Claude, so that's the one we're using here, to kind of plan out a plan for planning for a plan for doing some work. It's a little weird. It's really not something you couldn't just sit down and do on your own, but I only work here, so I'm doing what I told. I got a whole bunch of markdown files with all kinds of documentation and stuff, so it looks really pretty. Honestly, I think that's what our new management overlords want more than anything, is just some pretty files to wave around to all of their other tech bro friends to brag about how much money and environment they've wasted on doing something admittedly faster than a human could type it up or anything. But that's just me lightly griping. And trust me, that's a light gripe. But that I spent my entire day doing that, because this tool, they always described it as interrogates you, and that's not far from the truth. I got asked so many questions for refining things over and over and over again. And the big drive on this particular tool is that it is supposed to help mitigate the hallucinations in the AI, because that's a fun thing to begin with. But this is supposed to go through all of this upfront planning to get it all broke down into little individual atomic components, so they can be worked on independently from the others, so that you can keep
Nico!
your context nice and fresh between them. Whatever they want, I did it. Welcome in Nico's face. Ooh, hey, that bouncer may actually land right there on the platform. Oh, it faded out too soon, but it was a good try. Nope, that one's aiming for the wrong platform, and this one's just going nuts. It's going all over the place. Who knows where he's headed, but not his proper landing pad, I can tell you that much. So today was kind of a waste of a day, but I only had 2 meetings all day long. Is that right? I think I have to make sure it's not on my face, and I think it'll... There it goes. There's one. I only had 2 meetings today. The regular 15-minute stand-up, and then a 30-minute one-on-one, and then I got to answer Claude questions almost the entire rest of the damn day. I didn't have to talk to another human. I did type to Claude a lot, and then we had a text-only discussion. Product wants us to do a thing, and they've decided how it should be implemented, which is weird. It's actually the only time I can think of in my 3 years at this company that for some reason they have this vision of exactly how it's supposed to work, and we're all telling them the vision is wrong.
Claude from Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yes, that's exactly it. If that particular Claude was also responsible for deforestation and all kinds of other environmental travesties, as well as rampant unemployment and other things. I think that's how that worked in that game. I'm pretty sure. It's been a little while since I played. I only played one of the 3 houses, but I'm pretty sure that that is how that went. So, yes, absolutely. Anyway, I spent a good chunk of time, all of the time that I wasn't answering my interrogation, I spent trying to justify the fact that no, we're not going to implement it that way. I got to plant my flag in the sand, or wherever the hell you plant your flags, because one of our driving mottos or values, vision, and
Damn
vicariousness.
it, Claude, you are killing Earth and wrecking our economy.
Yep. Yeah. And both of them, actually. The one in the game as well. I can guarantee that. So do the right things right is one of our core values. So I planted that bad boy on the beach as we were storming out of the water. And I don't know where the hell this analogy is going. Anyway, I got really bitchy by text in a chat. So that was kind of fun. I got to spend the day doing that. And I won my entire development team over. So now we have our product owner and our personnel manager. No, he's the product manager. Product manager and product owner, there's really no difference. One's willing to talk to a customer and one's willing to talk to an engineer. I think that's literally the only difference between them. So our product... Oh, crap. Now I can't remember which is which. Anyway, we've got one of them on our side, so he's going to help lobby the other one to convince them that, no, we actually don't want to do it the dumb way. Stupid head way. So that's where I had spent my day. I got some kick-ass Canadian cheese doodles delivered to the front door. Something ridiculous, like 6 a.m. They were supposed to U.S. mail them to me from Seattle, which is a whole nother ball of weird because, they're cheese puffs and they put them in an envelope to mail them. It's the dumbest thing ever. We have an active streak. Congratulations on that. Oh, man, you managed to stick with these. I'm trying as hard as I can to stick to a schedule, which makes it way easier to streak. It's much easier to streak when you can plan ahead for it. That's what I've always said, especially in college. So they were supposed to mail them to me through the U.S. mail, which guaranteed they were going to be delivered as cheese dust anyway. But something happened. Someone somewhere seems to have lost touch with them before they could hand them off to the U.S. mail. So instead, they did the 4 to 8 a.m. delivery window from a different reseller, which is really weird. So in the dark this morning, there were cheese puffs on my front door. I actually kind of not so secretly love that. Unfortunately, with the new rounds of 50% tariffs that no one knows what they're actually supposed to be tariffing, so most deliveries are just tariffing everything and they figure it'll come out in the wash at the end. Probably not going to get any more of those for a while. Going to have to drive to Canada again, which I'm not against. And then, like 2 trips ago where we smuggled some cherries back across the border, we're going to have to start smuggling chips and things across. So it's kind of sad and embarrassing, but I'm willing to do it because they are damn good. Anything else fun going on? Anything happening? Anything at all? I don't think so. I think we have a date with some friends maybe on Saturday. We haven't heard back yet, so we don't know A, if it's going on at all, or B, if Master Jedi's current plan of traipsing around through the forest all day long is going to have to be modified due to either direct flame or smoke inhalation, because either of those could be the case right now. We don't have Canadian wildfires here. We have Oregon wildfires here. Usually we'll adopt a little bit of California wildfire up here too, but I think all of the smoke we have in the region right now is come from locally sourced fire, which is very important to Portland, that it always be local sourced. So depending on how things pan out, the ideal situation is on Saturday, once again, we're going to finish the Elliot's adventure. I don't know. I'm not willing to promise anything at this point. They just keep finding more crap to throw at the wall as I try to get to the end of this final finale. Do I actually? I think I got implied from the Bardic one that this is actually the final finale, and there isn't no stupid finale 4 or finale 5 waiting out there. I think this is the end. end to end. So with any luck, it'll only take 2 hours to get through it. If our plan for Saturday gets completely scuttled and maybe we do something Sunday instead, I'm going to give strong consideration to starting an hour early, like I did on whatever was that Sunday? I think it was last Sunday. I actually started an hour early. Did I? Is that what I did? Somewhere in there, I got a 3-hour stream out of the whole deal. It worked out great because it turns out I was nowhere near the end after all. So I'm going to buy myself a little extra time. If I actually do happen to finish, I already have another smaller kind of fun, cozy game already loaded up on the system, ready to go, so we can fill the time until our good friend Dan Servo is ready to take over the stream time. So maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 1, 6, 7, I don't know, whatever. Somewhere in there, we'll be doing something. But for today, we're going to drive some trucks around again. We were going to do some Splatoon, but Amazon screwed me. So instead, we're going to keep driving the trucks around. I managed to do a little bit off stream. I got that one remaining gateway opened between maps 2 and 3. No, it wasn't hard, but there was a lot of driving involved because, the gateway was closed. So I had to go the long way around multiple times, including dragging one of the really big construction trailers. But
Splatoon.
Kind of. It could be. It's not, but it could be. So fortunately, I had repaired enough of the road infrastructure around that it wasn't too hard to get that trailer where I needed to go. But now I've gone back to focusing on road repairs. That big rock slide near the cement factory, I've got that cleared. So now you can take that little paved hook up and down. So that's going to save that really nasty notch, that whoosh, that draw that kept flipping the Scout over. Won't have to take that one anymore because now I can take the pavement to the little pavement hook that drops down into the cement factory, and then you can follow the river edge along until you can get back to the pavement. There is a big bridge just past that I took a good eyeball at, and I would have worked on first, but in order to get that bridge repaired, you have to get that cement factory back up and running first. So it's a two contract deal. But in the meantime, I found that removing the waste materials from that fallen power tower, that one is doable now. It doesn't really, opening that road isn't going to be super extra helpful because there are shorter routes that might not even take longer to drive. So they might be shorter in distance and time because the road is covered in water at one point. It slows you down a little bit. So I don't know that this is really going to super help, but one of my high priority items is to repair the infrastructure before messing around with the rest of the tasks. So I'm working on that one now. Let me flip over to the game and we'll kind of figure out where we're standing here. So, oh, hey, welcome to SnowRunner, where, it's dark. So in order to clear the power tower, you needed to go collect the empty containers, bring them to the tower, and then you scrap all of the metal from that fallen tower into the empty containers, which then makes them not empty containers, and you have to take them back to the recycling center. When we did that for the rail bridge, the empty containers lived at the recycling center. So we drove there, drove back to the bridge, drove back to drop it all off, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I got to drive my shiny truck here through the new gateway, take the shortcut back to the recycle plant, and discovered that it didn't have the little yellow diamond that says pick your junk up here. I went and checked the map, and it turns out for some reason these recycling containers weren't at the recycling center. They were on another corner of the map over at the port. So originally my plan was to just park the truck up at the recycling center, and then with today's stream I would start there collecting the containers, and then we would go because it was kind of a short drive. Instead, I realized I was in the wrong corner of the map, and there was a lot of nasty mud slog and river crossing you had to do to get over there because I went the wrong way. So I went ahead and I drove that part last night because that's boring. That would just be me talking the whole time like I'm doing now. So instead, I drove to the port, I picked them up. There's a bridge and a road section that lead down to the port that are both out, but I haven't found the contract to repair them yet. I'm pretty sure there will be one for the bridge. I don't know if there will be one to fix the road or not. But anyway, I don't know where they are. I haven't searched all of the inaccessible stories because, why bother? Because they're inaccessible. I got to unlock other stuff first. So I decided, screw it. I picked them up. They're on the trailer here. And I figured I am going to drive back to the gas station, make sure I'm all topped up. And then this is where we will kick off today. Now, even if I zoom in, you can't see nothing. So do I have my path out of here lined up? No, I don't. But yeah, so I drove in. I came up here to the garbage recycling plant and then realized, nope, you got to drive through all of this mud. You got to cross the river twice. You got to fight through more of this mud up along the mini river, pull up to the pavement, drive through town, cross another bridge, come over here. This bridge is out, so you got to wade through all of the deep water in the slot canyon. And then this road is out, so you got to wander through the muck. It was a mess. It was a total missagosh. So instead, here I am, back at the gas station. We're just going to follow the pavement. Okay, not the pavement. We're going to follow this pavement all the way around to the starter map. And we could follow the pavement, I think, the entire way to where the tower is falling. The volume on the game, I actually preset to a little bit lower because louder than hell trucks. I think the VU meter's looking okay, so I think we're good to go there. It'll actually quiet it down a little bit if I go ahead and drive first person. I don't do this very often because you really need to be able to see out the sides a little more conveniently, but only when I'm off-roading. Here on the pavement, it's not really that big a deal. That was a little spicy in the noise it decided to make. I'm just gonna highball it through there. Ooh, it wants me to click a couple of buttons. Oops, I was not paying attention. I was reading my mail, officer, and I left the road surface. Okay, I just wanted to be sure that all of my online features were reporting themselves correctly. We're all good to go. Everything's fine here, sir. So, I am on my way to the tower. We're going to dump all of that old scrap metal into these containers. And then it was my belief that we were going to drive them all back to the recycling center. But I've had that belief before and was wrong, so I got to double check after we do that just where it is that I'm supposed to bring them back to. Because if it's the recycling center, then taking my new shortcut through the recently opened gateway is definitely going to be the way to go. But if it's back to the port, I'm coming right back this way. There's our other cement factory. I don't know why they have two of them so close to each other, but I guess that's their problem, not mine. Oop. Actually took some suspension damage. Totes not fair. While we enjoy the invisible and the dark scenery, think up whether anything extra of note may or may not have occurred. This is most of what I got now. Let's see. The new Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 did drop today, so I've got that installed and running. I gave it one quick test run in handheld mode, and I would swear, if anything, the graphics resolution actually went down on it, which is a little disappointing. I know the Xenoblade 1 upgrade added some new stuff to the game. I don't remember if the 2 upgrade was also supposed to, but so far in the 90 seconds or so that I've spent on it has been a little disappointing. It may need that maybe that I have to refresh my preload or something. Also, while we're on a break to load maps, everybody, welcome back to the show. Coffee Monkey. I'm going to get a goddammit Nico out of the way now because I know what's coming. But Monkey still has some heat, so he's worth it. There we go. Splatoon should happen next week. If I ever get my copy Nico, we are definitely going to need to co-op that some.
Free hydrate for all.
I know it is. Where... Excuse me one second. Why do I have literally no memory of that building over there? Maybe it's just super nondescript.
I will be ready
normally.
to play that with you.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I like Salmon Run in Splatoon 3. I actually kind of like the single-player experience in Splatoon 3. Probably as much a statement about how much I hate playing with randos as how good or not the actual game may be. I probably should actually consider the extra DLC that made even more single-player stuff, because I'd probably get some actual play out of that. I just didn't, because Splatoon 2's DLC became free with the expansion pack Nintendo Online membership. So I think secretly I was hoping that they would just make the Splatoon 3 pack part of that deal as well. Maybe they will once they get to Splatoon 4.
Raiders seems to be a good fusion of single player and Salmon Run.
Yeah. With the mild irony that they actually put some effort into making it, taking the single player game and making it multiplayer. But I think it looks pretty cool. And I would especially like the notion that if you jump into someone else's game, that you're just playing in their game and that it doesn't affect your own progress. Because I think that is the way that SnowRunner here actually works out. You can help someone in their game accomplish their missions and you get the pay and the experience for it, but it doesn't count those missions as completed in your own game. So you can jump around and play multiplayer as long as you are not the host, and it'll have zero impact, or almost zero impact on your own game. That's the kind of model I like for that. Especially in this game, it's the real reason I don't host multiplayer very much, is because I want to get more than my own money's worth by doing all of these, as mundane as they may be, tasks on my own. When I do multiplayer, it's on a different game save, or most of the time in my case it's on a different platform. It's on the Steam Deck. Now it kind of has to be on the Steam Deck, because the Switch 1 build probably still supports multiplayer, but everyone has to be on Switch 1, or at least running the Switch 1 build. And they claim that the Switch 2 build of the game is going to be multi-platform. I'm not certain if the big patch that they released when they dropped Season 18 for us here completed that work or not. Because honestly, I just don't multiplayer enough to notice or care or anything. I have played around enough now since that big patch that I have noticed that the game will still crash occasionally, but it's not doing it as frequently as it had pre-patch. before the patch, 60 minutes was pretty common, 90 minutes was the max. Now I can pretty frequently hit 90, and I've played some evening sessions where I've gone 3 to 3.5 hours. And then decided I was done playing before I even got a crash. So it's better. It's not perfect, but it's much better than it was. And even the old Switch 1 build would still crash every once in a while. So are you going out to an actual store to pick up an actual physical copy of Raiders, Nico? Or did you fall into the same trap that I did and actually got it for $10 cheaper on Amazon? But as a side effect, everyone else did too, so they ran out of copies, and I'm assuming that's what happened. They ran out of copies and have to get restocked before they can fulfill mine next week. It's not multiplayer, so it won't matter. I am getting the Oblivion remaster at Best
Yes,
Buy.
I forgot to pre-order sadly.
What a terrible turn of events, I guess. Or I guess nothing says you couldn't go and just pick one up anyway, unless they too are out of stock for walk-ins, because pre-orders, apparently they have a lot of pre-orders lined up on this game. Which is good. I like it. Just from seeing it done, I like the system they've implemented for upgrading your weapons through components. So you got to go find components. And you got to fight bigger and badder enemies in order to get them to drop the bigger and badder components. So you get a nice progression in difficulty, rather than having to play the Borderlands game of murdering as much and as far and wide and as quickly as possible to hope that you get a nice random drop on a good weapon. Not surprise me if fans are buying more physical in light of the PlayStation news. Yeah, it's possible. For me, the benefit of buying physical is that it saves room on my memory card, because holy pants, a terabyte memory card for the Switch 2 now costs almost as much as the Switch 2. Thank you, AI. So I'm liking physical a lot right now for saving me storage space, because I'm running low on this card real bad right now, and I don't know that I want to go and drop $400 on an additional card. I can't believe that they're $400 when they were $100 on the Switch 1. Although I suppose those are probably all $200 now. Yeah, if you're, well, I think they will go, a lot of them will go to the extent of compressing it so at least your downloads are not as painful. You know, for those of us on the Xfinity Unlimited plan where the download limits are very limited, well, they're unlimited, but once you reach a certain threshold, you have to start paying through the nose through the extra megabytes you use. I don't think you even get extra gig. I think you get extra meg. Okay, thank you, Coffee Monkey. That helped calm me down a little bit. Oops, did I turn my headlights off? Oh, sin. Okay, I fixed it. He's a good horn. I like the cross supports that they have built into these tubs to give them a little more rigidity when you load them with scrap steel. I'm not positive that this is really the optimal way of getting rid of this stuff. I would think they would have giant-ass dump trucks for this kind of thing. I guess if you want a dump truck, you gotta go play Roadcraft. By the way, I am definitely behind on my Roadcraft DLC. I need to get back there someday. also behind on my Expeditions DLC, but that game has now been fully cancelled, so at least I don't have to worry about falling farther. But they ended up putting out the 4 seasons. I believe I've completed 2, and I just started on 3. And then they added that semi-fun feature where you could buy new horns for your trucks by going back and playing the old missions to gain horn bucks. I don't remember what they called it, some sort of tokens or coins or whatever. Some fake currency. So there's actually still a lot of life left in that game for me. But also my free time, as evidenced by my streaming game here, has just collapsed. So I do what I do when I can. Oh, also, by the way, I brought the vibrator truck over here. It's ready to go. I don't know when I'll do that mission, but I'm ready for it at least. And I also moved my fuel mule over next to that other gateway, because I thought I was going to the recycling bin back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, so I was going to need fuel over there. Unfortunately, that plan is kind of screwed up now. Seem to be pretty good on fuel since I've been on pavement since leaving the gas station, so I think we can make this work still. Tatarin is over here guarding stuff. Hang on, I gotta take glasses off. We gotta address some issues. Also, I need to make sure that my Dan Servo monitor stays up on top of things here, because our good friend Dan Servo is still planning on doing his stream today, so we'll end at about 5 o'clock Pacific time. Raid on over there. Let's deliver these containers. Pippity pop. Ooh! Ah, yes, it cleared the road. Okay, that is a really good start. That makes me kind of mostly happy. I know. Happy. Take advantage of it. Probably don't really need it. But I'm going to swipe some of the Tatty's fuel just to be sure. Deliver to the garbage recycling plant. Okay, everybody, I have adequately witnessed it. Adequately noticed it. So we are going to take the new gateway. Kind of back to some of the original planning here. There you go. Upsy daisy. No, upsy, uppies. Oh. No. I'm not even hitting that control. Why are you doing that? Oh god, I'm gonna barf. It's just drop it. Just drop it. That's fine. That worked. That actually worked pretty well. It's working on going down. It's gonna try. Oh, well. Poop sticks. Hang on. What I need to do is get it beyond the red thing, because I want to push it. Oh. Okay, in a pinch, that'll do. All I wanted to do is get it pushed a little farther back so I can go grab this other one and slap it right in front there. And then we can lock them down and off we go. Bob could suddenly become your metaphorical uncle. Also, let go of the edge of the trailer. Okay. No, that is sloppy. Part of it is behaving poorly because they actually implemented some physics around that little yellow hanger on it, which is kind of cool, but also a pain in the ass. Alright, we're moving. Hey everybody, welcome to the new road. We actually have access to it. And this is what I mean about the mud cut along the river's edge that I'd been taking up until now. Is actually a slightly shorter distance than driving around the edge of the mountain, and because of this right here, you have to slow down. You don't get pavement speed all the way around. It might still be faster to go the long way. Especially with all of these little mystery holes in here. I would say nobody likes a mystery hole, but you and I both know there are plenty of people. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Definitely no judgment. Not my problem. I'm just going to keep muttering away until I get out of this damn mud. Why would you build your road this way? Go, and better fuel economy by turning off all-wheel drive, and now we are hauling. See, the little rivers run dry, but yet it's still flooding my road. I guarantee you there's no mission to get rid of that water. Now, as I recall, after delivering the filled containers, we then have to start bringing in some supplies to build a new tower. And that's the way that the train bridge worked. You scrapped it, loading it into these buckets here, and then that cleared the roadway, but in order to rebuild the bridge, you had to bring in more materials. So there's going to be some excitement before we actually have our power tower back up. At least now the road's clear, and got to complete the contract someday in order to complete the region here. Oh, one other item of note. Is this it? Yeah. Nope. Yep. Nope. Damn it. This is the one. Is this the one I need? This is the one I need. Preparation's finished. I don't know exactly what that regional progress was all about, but I finished preparing for something. Maybe that's some preparation junk before actually building the hydropower plant back in. Back in business is dealing with the other train bridge on map 2 that I've barely even driven by, so that one's coming later. Sorry, at least I was smart enough to stop the truck before wandering off to a side menu somewhere. Already got 1 of 3 regional progress tasks complete. Even though, if I'm not mistaken, there are still some contracts that apply to that regional progress. Two ways to get there now. That's the original way. I think I'm going to take this. This is a slightly more direct route. This is another section of road that's been buried under a rockfall. I can see there being a contract that magically gets rid of those rocks. I don't remember seeing a contract before that would have actually moved the excavator out of the way. I thought those were permanent parts of the landscape. So it makes me a little nervous that you may never get to fix that hunk of pavement. Maybe that's just to ensure that you don't ever get into a situation where you can actually make a 3-map drive to deliver big materials for the dam that sticks to pavement the whole way. I wouldn't have a problem with it. There are a lot of SnowRunner gatekeepers that do. They get all angry when there's an easy route, and for some reason just don't go that way. It doesn't work as a counter argument. This is what I run into with this truck. If I ever get him in a good position, like when he's back on the starting map. I should take this into the garage to see if there was another engine upgrade or something. 'Cause, yeah, I'm carrying a lot of tons of steel in these buckets right now, but even when they're empty, this dude struggles way too hard on some of these hills. Toot toot. This is where I want to turn. I'm going to end up going right by my great big fuel mule. So I'll have a chance to refuel before going through the gateway, down the really sketchy pass, and then follow the pavement to the recycling plant. And then on the way back from the recycling plant, we'll go right past the steel factory, because I'm sure we're going to want some metal beams. And I think it wants service parts and vehicle parts. I think those would break down into 2 4-slot deliveries if I did them independently. This trailer will hold 5 slots. But if I load it up, since we got time while I go through the mud, if I loaded up the 4 single slot, all of the various parts that it wants, I could put 4 in the back 4 slots, and then I could set one of the 2-slot beams sideways right in front, just using 1 slot's worth of space. It wouldn't pack it down, but at least it would be nice and balanced right there. And then I could set a second one on top of it and then hold it in place with this crane. I could get them all in one pass. But I think on the other map, where do all them parts come from? I don't think they'll be on the direct path, but I think there's a spot in town that I think provides one of them, and then there's a spot that's outside of town that you go past, or it's very close to the gas station, that has both of them at once. Maybe I could build a great big nasty mission. So yeah, here. We're parked a little awkwardly with the fuel tanker there. It's because I had pulled this dude all the way through the mud and got him parked up like right about here. And parking the fuel truck back behind wasn't close enough to actually get gas into this tank, so I had to off-road the off-road a little extra. As long as I don't ever actually need to move that truck again, it's fine. But I left him there, so if I'm going back and forth on this road to the recycling plant, then I have easy access to fuel. And if it turns out I can do the rest of this mission taking the long but paved way around, then I've wasted a whole bunch of time. So that also tracks. Look how pretty this pass is, man. Boom, straight to Solus Bay. Or Solace Bay. I mean, I don't want to pronounce anything for anybody. I will, however, have a little more coffee. The good stuff in the morning grind this week has been Café. It's a local Vietnamese style coffee. It's very nice. Yeah, it doesn't have any of the fancy flavors. It's just got a good medium to dark roast coffee flavor in it. Ooh, I haven't seen that pan in the daylight before. Oh, Okay, I'm in ghost truck mode. I know why this has happened. Because the delivery point for the parts to repair and open up that gateway are actually behind the gateway right here. So got a couple trucks parked in the way. The one that's in green right now has 0 fuel in it because this thirsty girl drank up before she headed the other way. So I have to either recover it back to the garage or I need to steal a little from the Scout's rooftop. It's equipped with a high saddle, so I'll probably just recover it straight to the garage because I think I'm going to have to edit it anyway. There we go. I got ghost lights. Down here we all float. There we go. Now we're solid. So yeah, I use that big bad beefy boy to pull the giant construction trailer in, and then it constructed a hole in the mountain and then disappeared. Supposed to be tricked into believing that once upon a time this was paved highway that led up there, but that's total BS. There was never anything even close to paved about this monstrosity. In fact, it is scary as hell. And I'm not too worried about flipping, but climbing these stairs right here with this heavy a load sounds daunting. Watched it do it unloaded. No, okay, I guess I made it. It did it unloaded, but it had to walk back and forth a lot. Actually doesn't look like it had any tougher at time with the heavy load. Good item to note. This particular trail, this particular truck is ridiculously slow on. I think it's considered extra tough in terms of the road material, which just makes you go slower automatically. And this truck struggles real bad with all of the coefficient math that's thrown out there for it. So we go real slow through here until it gets super level. We do pretty good across the bridge, though. There we go. Now it's leveled up. We can pick up some speed. Don't dump it in the wash. Don't dump it in the river. Don't dump it anywhere. Made it. We could just steal that tower. Use it to build our new one. No one's using this one, right? Metal factory down there. Hey, good looking. We'll be back for you later. I gotta be careful of my nose. No nose care. And if you straddle that little rolly rock in the middle, the road, it's actually the one spot where it's kind of level. As long as your differential doesn't hook up on the little rolly rock and spin you off into oblivion. I mean, that's never happened. Yonder pavement breaks. That's a little Shakespearean trumpet for you. I know old Bacon Face would approve of that. This is what I went through last time and then realized, nope, I'm going to the wrong corner of the map. But it still says garbage recycling plant. I have high hopes for this. Also, I assume this container here is part of the mission someday, but I haven't unlocked it yet, so screw it. Just let it sit there. It's cheaper than letting it accrue storage fees. Some exciting news for me. Tropico 7 has started releasing game footage. And they also announced that they will have a Switch 2 build of the game. Got the Switch 1 build of Tropico 6. It actually looks pretty good, and the performance is fine on it. The controls are a little wonky because they had to map them to controller controls. Hey, there's the yellow diamond I missed last time. But with Tropico 7, they are going straight to Switch 2. And they haven't confirmed it yet, but that should mean they go straight to mouse mode, mouse support on the Switch 2. And I think that's going to make me super duper happy. I love being super duper happy. At least that's what I figure. So I will definitely be doing some Tropico 7 streams whenever that happens. Hang on, I just had one of my windows over here just had a small freak out, but it's fine now. I'm lurking on our good friend Roaming Mirk's channel right now. And something just started scrolling like crazy over there. Hey dudes, I just stole all this copper tubing from somewhere. You guys want it? How much will you give me for it? Boom! Stage complete! Oh, look at this. Ah, we want a coiled tubing semi-trailer. That truck with no gas in it, but with the high saddle, we're going to use it for that. Luckily, at the same time, I can do this other one. 2 metal beams, 2 vehicle spare parts, 2 service spare parts. Oop, I didn't mean to honk. I'm sorry. Is this one? This one right here. This is the one. This has got them both, right? No, totally wrong. That has the vehicle spare parts, but not the service spare parts. Oh, does this one have both? Oh, that one has both, and very loosely speaking, it's at least on the same side as the river as me taking this return path. Ooh, that's good news. Okay. I do enjoy good news. Let's come down to here. We'll take this little side road. I think this will keep us out of some of the gnarliest of the gnarly along that side path. I'm going to load up. Oh, and that'll let me load up all 4 of the single slot pieces first. And then we're going to get to here, and then I got to make a choice. This route is actually the easiest, with the exception of this little gap you got to climb up and over. You can... I took the great big trailer around this long way through the swamp. But this middle route might actually... With the load on the back, the middle route might be the best middle choice. I guess they put it right there in the name. Okay, 2 vehicle spare parts, 2 service spare parts, and then we'll go manually mess around with the whole metal beams thing. What will happen is no matter how I load those 4 on, like if I try pushing them to the back 4 slots first, by the time I arrive, they will have magically moved forward. So I'm just going to load them and go, and then when I'm ready to put the metal beams on, I'll have to play the game where I unpack, push everybody back a spot, repack, and then I need to have the camera set so that it watches the trailer while I use the crane to load the metal beams on first. Because as soon as you take it away and it simplifies physics, that's when things magically move. And it's funny, I totally understand why they do it, but it is super frustrating when you're trying to do a thing. And then I gotta go figure out where that coiled tube trailer is. Not gonna worry about it this second. In fact, I'm probably lying, because that is my MO. I'm going to try to not worry about that trailer at all until after I've delivered this first full load of goods. And then I will warp into Fancy Truck, because I'm going to have to recover it to put gas back in it realistically anyway. And then I'll take a look at the map to see where that trailer is so I know where to go after fuel. Okay. I've made my promise to myself and forgot. And promise broken. It's good to have goals, but also to be aware of your own self. Could go straight to picking up the beams first, but then either I've committed to doing this as 2 different trips, or I gotta backtrack to get the other stuff, so it's great. Where's going? It's great. Yeah, it's not even mud. It's like deep dirt, and that's harder for this truck than mud. The fuel consumption rate stays down in the single-digit liters per minute, so that's actually a great big help. It just makes driving slow. Nope, I don't think even this is mud. I still think this is just deep dirt. Yeah, maybe a little mud. A little mud. It's good for it. It builds character. Just a little wide. Get some of those tires out into the grass. Maybe we'll do better. In the deep dirt, I have noticed you have to give it gas downhill to keep speed up. That don't feel right. Unless it's a runaway truck ramp. It does feel counterintuitive when you see a downhill, a runaway truck ramp that the ramp itself points downhill. That is kind of the definition of deep dirt. Deep gravel, really. Who's the idiot that put that waypoint in the middle of this delta here? I don't know which way to go. I guess I'm just going to go this way. This feels right. For the foreseeable future, infrastructure repair is the name of the game. This game, which is not actually named that. But you're obligated to know what I mean. After we've got the roads rebuilt and or cleared, then probably start focusing on rebuilding that dam. Especially because the top of the dam counts as both. Repairing the road and building the dam at the same time. hook up. I saw that coming, and I did it anyway because I was blissfully hopeful. Which is the same as blissfully hopeless. I got my trailer at the back end hooked up on that K barrier. Oh, that one was really close. I might be able to just winch myself. That's how the pros do it. What's that other yellow square down there? Oh, Fisherman Textbook. Okay, we're not doing that one yet. I would like two service spare parts. Ha, 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 ha. There are no consumables, so don't even ask. Two vehicle spare parts. Ah, 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 ah. Yeah, that's all I want. And then we will depart through this yellow square, so the truck just got fixed. And this fence is not a... Oh, crap. Okay, hang on. This fence is not a barrier, so I'm going to drive right through it. Oh, God, there's a barrier hiding behind the fence. But I can thread the needle between the barriers here. Oh, such a pro. Run them gears, trying to get out of there. Brace yourself, everybody. S-turn. This is a nice solid bridge. This road go? It goes up. And this is where an engine with a little better power curve would really come in. Even though it would mean that driving on the highway things get slower and slower. We got a couple of different roads splitting off. Yeah, I want just to help me keep track of what in the hell I'm doing. Okay, I only need those 2 points. Just a little wide to avoid the flippies. Those numbers are all low. They're fine. Nope, you have oversteered, my friend. You got a hill climb. Any of these paths except the swamp. But this one doesn't have the harsh gap you gotta clear at the same time. Included a harsh gap here, but it's not as harsh and it doesn't involve climbing at the same time. Well worth it. Taking the highway back up to the gate. That one... Where am I supposed to go? Oh, over there. Phew. It has a couple of reasonably sketchy spots, but I think I've driven it enough now that I'm only going to worry a little bit more. Road would meet up. plant is just right here. Steel factory? I think I'm calling it. Made it off the dirt. We'll save an extra 2 liters of fuel here by turning off the all-wheel. Ooh, that's a good spot for the autosave. Thanks, Nico. Okay, everybody, here we go. Step 1, unpack. Step 2, I need metal beams, sir. Those go onto the platform. Step 3, we come back to here. And I need all of you losers... Oh, too far. I need all of you losers to go back a spot. Like so. If I drop that as low as it'll go, sometimes that prevents them from auto-packing where I don't want them to. See, just move the camera. Oh, don't move it. Somebody keep your eye on it at all times over there. I may have to occasionally actually look at these beams.
Splatoon Raiders secured.
Oh, hey, you got it. Nice. You streaming that this evening? If the answer is no, then you are a terrible person. But also, it's fine if you don't. Something, something, spoilers, somehow, something.
Yes, after your work, I can't wait to fill my lungs with smoke.
I can't wait to fill my lungs with smoke. And then she just got bored of reading the rest, I think. Oh, boy. Well, your yard deserves it, right? I suppose? I'm guessing? Better? It's gonna?
TTS died from smoke.
From smoke. Oh, hey, did anybody else notice? Now that I'm driving to the hard part, it's dark again. Never seen that happen in SnowRunner. God damn it, SnowRunner. So, just so I don't have to think about this later, let me go ahead and dump the spare fuel.
It looks bright out for the evening to me.
There have been a couple kind of pretty close to literally pitch black nights in some of the seasons. This one's, well, that one's pretty dark because you're looking into the side of a mountain. If you can look in the direction of open sky, it's actually probably on the lighter half of their seasons. But because it's all mountainous, half of your time spent half as dark is staring at a mountain that's extra dark. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn this into a math stream. Well, that's one thing, but the sketchy, scary rock crossings are the other. This is where lack of light is going to make me cry a little. Yeah, I'll be honest, everything makes me cry anymore. I think the path is to come up here and then cut hard. Yeah. And then this one's just kind of nasty all the way around. Go just fast enough though, you can land the front wheels on that far rock before it can grab you by the nose. So, bitch and pull it off. Even in the dark. Because of my lack of vision, I'm just going to drive right through the middle of the mud. This truck can be painfully slow about it, but mud tires are good enough it doesn't stop. Scary spot left. Because if you hit it wrong, you rail slide along a rock right off the edge. This is not. This just looks scary. This one's. I think that's the spot where if you hit it wrong, you head right for that tree over there. And there's one more spot up here that tries to do the same. Except I don't think there's a tree. No, this one's just wrong. Tunnel diamond ahead. So slow in this last pitch. It's slow going downhill in this stuff. It's slow going uphill in this stuff. Doesn't seem to matter the weight of the cargo it's carrying. It's just always slow. This kind of trail here. We'll definitely have enough fuel to get back to the fuel mule. Okay, guard the pass, Scout. Map transitions are always a good coffee time. The weight of the cargo shouldn't matter as long as truck go. That's a bumper sticker. Actually, this game does feature stickers. You just can't put them on the bumper. You can put them on the hood. You can put them on the roof. You can definitely put them on the door. You can put them on your dash. They've even got some that go on the glass. You know, like price tags on a picture frame. Why not the bumper? I know, right? Well, because a lot of these, the bumper's kind of small. Most of these you can swap out bumpers, and I guess maybe it would get confused. It wouldn't know whether to throw away sticker if you swap the bumpers under it. Beacons. Ow. I was going the wrong way. We need to play this game real quick here. I need to grab that one. Make sure that you grab. I don't like the look of the cut of its jib when you do this. Grab it up a little high, and then you leave some slack. That way, we actually have the ability to make turns without throwing the stupid thing off the edges. It's not lined up straight. That would probably come back to bite me, but. On the other hand, I would like to someday actually finish this mission, so we're just going to drive. No, don't go in reverse. awkward fuel tanker. Someday I'll move that one too. It's extremely unlikely that that day is today. Down to first gear, please. Stop right here, equally awkward. And we are going to drink deeply, my boy. And the road's probably over here somewhere in the dark. Let's keep going this way. Okay, still got both my beams. Munch and crunch our way back up onto the highway. We'll drive 150 feet, and then we'll have to munch and crunch our way around the bypass on the other side of the highway, and then get back on the highway again, and then drive for a little while until we get to the underwater part, and then we'll glub our way through that, and then we'll be at the delivery. Oh God, I hope that, yeah, the damaged power tower. Then we'll be at the proper delivery. I don't think we can actually build the tower until we get the tubalicious to it. I can't see in the dark. I just can't tell what it is or where I'm doing it or anything. That should be back to the highway at least. Pedaling, you little hamsters. We're getting there. Oh, I found the road. It's over here. Because this truck runs a little low in the power curve department, this is one of the few ones where once you're up and moving like this, you can't just throw it into high torque here and then rumble, stumble, bumble your way on up to the top. It will actually bottom out and stall on you. So oh no, I finally bounced that first one off. I really should fix it. I should damn it. I should really try to fix it so that stuff like this doesn't happen, but I'm actually going to stop and fix it, and then I made it worse. Who saw that coming? That didn't take too long to fix. The best in the world is when you're driving along a really sketchy cliffside and then it decides to roll you to the bottom. Well, it rolls you a couple of rotations down, but then it lets all of the cargo roll all the way to the bottom. We'll spend the next 4 hours just trying to recover all that crap. Or if it's cargo that was provided by a mission, you just reset the mission and start over. There, finally, someone who's actually being helpful about what I'm supposed to do next. everyone just be cool on this little hillside here. This really is not supposed to be enough to make you roll. So then we go up. Don't think there will quite be time to finish this entire contract today. But it is a full three-phase, and this phase 3 has 2 separate parts type of contract to it, so I don't feel too badly about that. I gave it a tiny bit of a head start, but not much of it. Hey, who knows? Maybe that tube trailer is actually on this map, and I just have to run over real quick, grab it, and drag it around, and everything will be fine and easy. That always happens, right? That it's actually back on that map where the other truck is just waiting but without fuel. So I'll have to decide, do I steal from the scout to drive it to the gas station and then go get the trailer? Or do I just recover it and then hightail it along the pavement? I would automatically just be inclined toward the latter, with the exception that we'd have to load maps twice. That adds time. Also, just so damn dark. With all the effort of making this game prettier on the Switch too, and now I only get to see it 33% of the time, maybe 40%. I finally had a truck with the right kind of crane to stand that upright, so I really don't want to knock it on its side again. Now that this road is clear, it's a little bit easier now if I want to get in and tow that away to sell it. I suppose I could tow it to use it, but I have come to prefer this flatbed here, because the sidewalls on that trailer help a little bit. If you get the trailer too far sideways, it helps the cargo stay put and not have a yard sale. But sometimes you gotta load heavy stuff up onto your bed, and if you've got to lift it up high enough to get over that sidewall, sometimes that takes way more effort than some of these little cranes actually have. So I have tended to stick with the complete flatbed. I might be able to look for monster holes if it was daytime, so I could look right down into the water to see, but we play the hand we're dealt. Okay, that was actually a pretty good route. Let's do a little shift. Actually, I am going to leave it running because I'm probably going to have to swing the beans around a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4 parts delivered. Never gets old. Well, at least inside my head. Or outside my head. Okay, this is So now I need to mess around with the beams. I give it zero chance that it actually lets me just pack the beams in that configuration. So let's go ahead and do this. That wasn't so bad. I'll be back in 10 minutes. One, two. Ha, 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 ha. There, I went a little easier on you. Now all we have left is the trailer. Is this Lifeline? Yes. To be... Oh! It is on... Ooh, not only is it on this map. Those rocks that I cleared, they'll actually help in this case. Because I can't rebuild that dude yet. Ooh! We have a solution. We have a solution. Let's see if I... Oh, nope. It's okay, everybody. Don't worry. The fuelless truck is just on the other side of this gateway, so let's just drive the fuel to the other side of that gateway. Yes! I appreciate your solution excitement, too. I do enjoy actually solving things from time to time. Sometimes it happens. Every once in a while. So, since I'm going to have to flip around, do some map reloading anyway, and then what I'm going to do is if I attach my winch to the other truck and then come right back over to this map, it'll bring them both back over. And that's the scenario I want right here, because Solas Bay at least has a gas station, and the national park map has the garage that provides fuel, but the dam map has zero fuel source, so I want to keep my fuel mule over there. We got 33. Ooh, hey, there's a chance I might finish this mission. And the sun's just starting to come up, and I am butt to butt with my other truck. So if I have to start it. Okay, and then we attach butt to butt. We travel back to the other map. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm finishing this mission today. There's no question about that. The question is, will I finish it before 5 o'clock? Let's see if Dan's channel still has Dancy Drew Sunday loaded up. So, hey, while we're reloading, try loading maps. No, it is a no stream Thursday from Dan. So, that just guaranteed we're finishing this mission on stream here today. Dan does hope that everyone has an awesome rest of the week, and he will be back on Saturday with the Bullman for some Abiotic Factor, and then Sunday for more Dancy Drew. Since there's no engines are running, let me run through my other massages real quick here, just in case there's anything of important community note.
Stream overtime.
Yep, forget it. I'm shutting down. Goodbye, everybody. Okay, I was just kidding. Yeah, okay, let's refuel first. I want to pull from the great big tank. I want to charge up the Atom. Whose trunk repair supplies are those? Maybe they're the Atoms, maybe they're not. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and fuel up the fuel mule as long as we're here. Okay, everybody is at max fuel now. I want to change to the Atom. And then I need to get over here to get over there. Ideally, I would like to be up on the pavement. The pavement, as it were. It's never the way it is. What is the Plaid? I think the Plaid is rocking a flatbed, so he isn't going to work. Oops, I overshot. If I come up to here... Does here work? Oh, you know what? I don't even need to do that. We can take the old school route because the Flippy Loopy is now fully open. Oh, that's on the hill. We don't want to be on the hill. We want to come down here. We want to go grab that trailer. We're going to worry about the return route when we get there. Once it makes itself a problem, then we'll deal with the problem. Really enjoyed this. This truck is so long. And then you put one of these big oversized trailers like the one we're about to go grab, and soup to nuts, this thing is an hour long. I was a little worried that it might make it more prone to getting hung up and then little stubby legs on those custom trailers when you go over the hills like this, but I only ran into a couple of spots where I did that. It wasn't too bad. Fuel economy on this truck actually is far from being the worst. It's not the thirstiest of girls, like that Voron is. Voron drinks gas by the 6-pack. That tall cab can sometimes make it a little tippy, but once you put a trailer on it, that seems to keep it in check most of the time. Power curve on it is pretty damn good. The mud tires on it are really good. It's got a regular car horn, but at least it's not one of those weird squeaky ones. I don't like the weird squeaky ones that sound like a Euro train. You can clip that if you'd like to. You can use that on your stream. One of the horns actually is that horn, but it's not me doing the horn. The 2 minutes is the closest I've got. And it has been long enough. I don't remember which of the horns I was mimicking at the time, but it was not the Ford F-750. The irony of being in one of the American trucks sounds like a European tramp. Although you do find that truck in Russia. I think its mission is titled The Foreigner, which is fun. Good job saving. You were mentally ready for it to end? Yeah, that's just a safety precaution at all times. Ever since replacing every last inch of cable inside this house, and the modem, and the router too, technically, I haven't really had a problem with the premature termination of streams. Got one player in my Tuesday night Pathfinder who very routinely gets booted out of Fantasy Grounds. And sometimes when that happens, it'll boot a bunch of the others out as well, but he just got a brand new laptop. Once he got it up and running and configured and installed and running and everything else involved, I don't think we've had that happen once since. One of the other players sometimes plays from a hotel because he's on the road a lot. Hotel Wi-Fi bites, so he drops, but doesn't take everybody else with him. And then one other player on an older laptop gets the classic .NET has encountered a problem, and your application window goes like semi-opaque white, and then that is the end of you playing. That obviously drops them out of the game, but it doesn't kick everybody else. So things are more gooder. If you're not streaming 20 or 30 minutes, Nico, then I bet our other good buddy Roman Mirk still will be. So that's probably where I will point my raid machine when we get to that point. We're definitely not doing that until this trailer gets to a place where we can build us a fancy-ass tower. Finally driving a better truck, too. I keep telling myself I should go get a truck that behaves a little bit better than that last one. Haven't done it. It does okay. It just does slow. Streaming later tonight, but not that soon. I figured that was the case, especially with the yard trying to kill you with heat stroke and all. Although today, at the time I started stream, it was about 25 degrees cooler than it was on Monday, and about 20 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. I think we're still only at 79 right now. I hit one of my temperature-telling devices actually hit 100 degrees on Monday. I don't think our official temperature got there. And then it was 3 or 4 degrees cooler yesterday. Today, the heat dome actually broke. And we had, weirdly enough, late day yesterday, kind of heavy thunder rainstorms come through. Master Jedi got soaked just trying to get to the train leaving work yesterday. It was really weird, but the wind in particular helped blow out enough of the wildfire smoke that air quality improved dramatically, and then that broke up the heat dome, so today was kind of nice, all things considered. Today from yesterday, a big 2 degrees difference. 2 degrees, Nico. 2 degrees. I still got it. Rain, yeah. I don't think the rain ever really does much for the smoke, but wind that comes with the rain absolutely does. Blow it so it's somebody else's problem. All in this bad boy up here. I think I got a plan for how to get this out. Once I fix this west bridge, and really that's going to be the next goal, I got to get the cement plant that's down here
Finally
at the bottom
home,
of the
Lona GD70, did you get the news that there shall be no servo stream this evening?
I did, in fact. I had to go look for it. I was peeking over to see if he'd listed what game he was going to play and saw that it was still Dancy Drew. So yeah, I went and I hunted it down. Dan is disappointing everybody. So the benefit is that I actually get to deliver this beast of a trailer here on this stream before I raid out, probably to Roaming Mirk. Okay, so when I took the big construction trailer, it actually started right up here in this electrical area. Yeah, this one started down here, so real close. What I ended up doing, this road blockage was still in the way, so I couldn't go there. So I took it this
Welcome
little
home,
road here.
Pibardicone.
Yes, welcome. Oh, yeah, you drive it down here. That's a little scary right there, but that's fine. Wiggled and wiggled and wiggled. Oh, and then I brought it up over here, and we popped it up onto the pavement. And that's what we need to do this time. But now that I have access to the hook route here, that drops us down to the concrete plant. Then this is a little mucky, but it's not all rolly-y. Hey, thank you for the follow. I won't explicitly call you out. I'm still a little torn on the whole anonymous follow thing. I think it just listed your name and everything, but...
Why, thank you, good Sir Nico. Also, I too have secured the ability to raid Splatoons.
Damn you people! Also, hey, welcome, Crash Out Camo. If you're going to chat, then obviously I have to call you out at that point. Welcome in. Thank you again for the follow. My goal, my plan, my desire, my intention is to do my SnowRunner streaming on Thursdays, and then usually JRPGs on Saturdays. This Saturday, for the fourth stream in a row, I'm gonna finally finish The Adventures of Elliot. Shut up, Bardic. Shut up. but I'm probably going to finish it this time. Think I'm going to finish it this time. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to play next, but, well, I still won't have my Splatoon until next Wednesday, so for Saturday, if I actually finish Adventures of Elliot, I got a cozy game ready and lined up to go. You miss, yeah, I know, it's just, that damn game just keeps going and going and going and going. Nope. Oh, yeah.
You're going to join Jedi and I in multiplayer when he gets his copy.
Okay, hang on just a second. I gotta pause this. Crash Arkema, welcome in. I would like to introduce you to Butter Couch, the most comfortable sofa I have ever owned. So yes, I do my streaming from a semi-reclined position here. If I'm playing a cozy game, I'll put my feet up on the coffee table ahead of me as well. There we go. I used to have that up permanently, but now I'm going for the...
I can probably do that also.
Works.
Do you think Jiffy gets annoyed that we're having a conversation in TTS?
No, I'm used to it. You people just babble away out there to your heart's content. I mean, honestly, that's why I put TTS in there. Well, I put TTS in there so that for the 1 or 2 times that I streamed MudRunner VR, I don't have access to chat inside the VR helmet, that I could actually still hear people talk. That's why I did it initially. But now it's so you can just entertain yourselves. I do still have the ability to throttle Nico's use of it, though, should he prove untrustworthy. Not that that would ever happen again, still. So. Okay, it's close enough. It's almost working. How do I want to get over here? I want to go... Okay, nobody look. Everything will be fine. Oh, damn it. Everything will be fine.
Nah, I think Jiffy loves it as much as he hates it, but if Tay was here and doing his thing, TTS might have the most trustworthy Nicolimir I know.
Okay, I got a little timey-wimey in there, but yeah, the most important part is that, yeah, if Tay was here, Tay would have to be banned. Oh, you know, I made a big deal about how this was going to make everything easier once this was open again, and this is not going to make everything easier. Because these giant trailers, this is a really tight turn. Oh, also, never mind, it was fine. The construction crews, they really don't care if you scrape up the paint on these things a little bit, so it was no big deal. Oh, this is going to be a turn.
I play my games from my family's 6,000 sectional lol.
Nice. I spent a lot of money on this couch, but I actually didn't spend that much money. I want to now, though. We also have Butterbed upstairs, but I am not streaming from that.
And Thibardicone is the most trustworthy Thibardicone I know. Any other Thibardicone is clearly a fraud and not trustworthy.
Oh, wait. I know this song. I've heard it before. My Bardicone brings all the boys to the yard. I think that's how the next line goes. Oh, we're chugging it. That was a little crashy, but... It's not like hyper-realism is really a thing in this game, but it does make me cringe every time I watch...
Butterbed will be shown on Jeffy's finally stream and has in 2099.
I've always wanted a couch to charge my phone. Just like the meme. Yeah, Butterbed will be shown on my final stream when Twitch shuts us down for TOS violations. Although I do have the Wi-Fi repeater in the hallway upstairs, just right outside the bedroom, so the signal would be clear up there. I could definitely dual stream. I don't have a TV up there to hook the Switch or anything else up to, but I could still run it off the dock, and I could play the game right here.
I'm not familiar
right
with
here
the
on
meme.
OBS. Oh, the meme, the one about trying to convince, it would be great fun to go back in time and try to convince yourself that when you use the phrase, I had to plug my phone into my couch to charge it, would actually mean anything. Just imagining going back to, for me, it would even be high school. Goddamn kids these days, trying to explain what charging a phone is in the first place and how your couch can do it would definitely blow old minds. Didn't say it was a good meme. It's just one that I distinctly relate to because I'm old. Welcome to me. But in addition to USB ports, I also want a nice cup holder. Oh, the rear wheels were lifted off the ground there. That's new. They did this on purpose over here. It's a little squirrely getting the big trailer around this bend, but just like the one with the guardrail, it'll go. Don't let it tell you no. I did have to, 5-point the turn last time. And you got to be willing to let your front wheels kind of hang over the edge a little bit. That's more than I meant. I don't want to do anymore. Just a hint of sanity prevail here. Back that up to get a little wider line. We'll let the front axle go over, but try to keep the back axle on. Really at this point, okay, we're going to experiment a little bit. I didn't do this last time, but it seems like it'll be good fun this time. That doesn't reach. That one does, though. Just give it a little tug. Get the front end over just a little bit. No? Okay. Okay, that's fine. Oh, now I've really angered it. Oop, don't go too far that way. There it is. The other one was the construction trailer. This is the coiled tubing trailer. So this one's a little taller, but I don't think it's any wider. And then I discovered that I'd been avoiding going this way because it looked like the water got really deep, and it turns out the water actually doesn't get very deep. Nice straight shot. Turn back. This one takes a little effort because this is a hard 90-degree turn. We just drag them back wheels up over the wall there. Exact same thing happened last time. Super slow into this rail. There's no possible way you could actually hurt anybody, and there's shatters things. But we made it. We're up and rolling, and if Dan was streaming today, I think I actually would pull this delivery off before I actually had to do the raid feeling decent about that. I'm very happy. I'm going to give myself early fire.
We're going streaking!
No, I hit the streak button. My apologies. We're just going firework. Oops. Here's the butt of this trailer. Oh yeah, there's a window sticker. Big and dirty. And then I put the fringe along the top because it's classy. I am actually going to want to come out of that view though, because I really honestly and truly want to not knock this trailer on its side again, because that's the way it starts. Because it's weirdly difficult to get them to stand back up. Almost can't do it just by winching and dragging it around. And the weak cranes don't seem to be able to pick up from the right spot to be able to do it. So it'll be very delicate every time I drive past that. And one day that is not today, I found to do something with that trailer, get it out of the way. Now that the super highway is open again and about to have tremendous amounts of electricity flowing overhead. I don't think this actually opens anything new on the map for me. A contract is a contract. Can't get to 100% without it. This is really muddy water. And congrats on the fun times of making that cliff actually throw some shadow down here, so I have no clue what's under the water. Holes or branches or bodies or anything. I mean, who would throw a body in the lake? I've never heard of that. I wouldn't do that. What's that? Trailer really doesn't like the wet pavement and implicit mud. I need four-wheel drive just to pull it out of the water. There we go. We've made it. Oh, there's. Oh, hey. How do I get to where I want to go? Here it is. And we free cam it. Get something with a little bit of an artistic look to it. I haven't done a shot with the Switch 2 build. There's that. Let me do that. Where's the depth of field? Depth of field span. Let's crisp up a little bit more of that. That looks good. Let me hide that. Center you guys up. That looks good. I'm happy with that. Snap. Okay. Thank you everybody for indulging me. And now... Oh. I don't have a button to do the delivery. I just have to drag it into the store. There you go. Ooh, another contract completed. Thanks for your help in getting the power lines up and running. Hopefully there won't be any more malfunctions to interrupt our work. Your efficiency is a gem. Oh, I'd love to see that on my performance reviews at work. By the way, I have one of those on August 6th. 26 grand and change? Almost 3,000 XP, which I don't care about anymore.
Perfect.
He was pretty close to perfect, I guess. It was perfect enough. Still not doing the vibe mission because I won't be able to stop giggling through the whole thing. It's also even slower and more boring on stream to try to pull one of those stupid things off. Where have I ended? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna come back over here. Did that open up any more? Anything? There would be a yellow dot if anything else had opened up, and I don't see any other yellow dots, so no extra new missions. What I want to do next, I'm gonna get this set up. Is it back? Wrong button. Is it back to work? I think it's back to work. Yes. Back to work is what is going to turn on the concrete plant, which opens up the crafting zone. What are you going to craft there? I don't know. Probably something concrete. I have 3 concrete slabs sitting in storage back on the starting map. So I've assumed someday somewhere will let me make more of them. I'm guessing that's what this is for. I also have a very strong feeling that this dam, especially with all of its missing parts, is going to be very hungry for concrete. So we're gonna get this built back up, and then once that is built up, this one, no. Also no, but that one involves fixing one of the new trucks. I should do that one eventually. Where's the mission I actually want? It's not seasonal preparations. Don't even look at that. That's stupid. It's the reservoir and the hotel. Where did it go? Nope, it's the weather tower. Oh, I know why. It's one that's still locked. That's why I haven't seen it yet. This one. It's not that one. That's the other bridge that I want to get repaired later. Is it this one? No, I can't find it. It's one of these around here somewhere. But you have to get the concrete, you have to get the concrete back online. And then this stupid bridge right here, you can finally repair. It's titled the West Bridge, but I don't see the actual West Bridge mission title name somewhere. So who cares? It doesn't matter what it is. I just backtracked to figure out what that mission is. So let me start the tracking so that that is all prepped to go. And then I can make sure that my game is full and properly saved at this point. Thank you very much for the save reminder, Nico. Let's go see. Roman Mirk is still streaming. He's currently saving a game. Let me make sure that he's not quitting at the same time, because that's embarrassing when you raid someone right as they're trying to quit. Nailed it, Nico. Right on cue. Let me prepare this. I'm going to give him a few extra seconds to decide whether he is actually continuing on or not. Oh, he's gone into break time. Okay. You know what? That works out just fine here. Let me come back up to the main cam then. Thank you, everybody, for keeping me company while I did some snow running today. I'm going to go cook up some sausages because we're making a fancy... Originally, it was going to be a big, kale, sausage, white bean soup.
Raid.
But given how warm it's been lately, instead, I think we're going to make more of a kale, sausage, bean casserole. That doesn't hold the heat as much as a good soup does. So same ingredients, less fluid, less heat dynamic, I think is how we're going to play with that. So we're going to go cook up some of that. That's going to carry me through the evening. Later on tonight, we should all go join Nico for some Splatoon Raiders work. I want to see the game do a thing. Hey, look at that. Oh, that's right. And it's not running clips, so it's not yelling as loud anymore. That's also good news for everybody. But in the meantime, let me click the Start Raid button so that it starts counting down and sets everything up. I will be back probably on Saturday to finish Adventures with Elliot. We're going to see how it goes. I may as well just get past the balloons. We're just going to go straight to confetti. There is a chance that it may get pushed to Sunday. If the thing doesn't happen on Saturday, we will do it on Sunday, which means the stream will be on Saturday. And I would love to start an hour early, but I'm also not willing to commit to that because everything is a mess whenever I try to do anything. So you're most welcome, Nico. I look forward to watching you get to play some of this damn game tonight, and I'll get to join in on Wednesday of next week, which means next Thursday will probably be a SnowRunner stream, but depending on everyone's availability, I might do some Splatoon Raiders. I don't know. We'll see how things go when we get there. Not going to happen now. Not going to worry about it. The raid is ready. Roman Mirk isn't back yet, but he pees real quick. He'll be right back, so nobody sweat yourselves about it. And I will see you this weekend. Bye.